Welcome and good day. This is Nick Lasky, your astrologer, with the full moon report. Okay. Oh, yes. Coming up on Thursday, January 28th at 2:16 Eastern Time, 2:16 p.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have a full moon in the sign of Leo. And this is going to be this is going to be the most powerful full moon of the year. Why? Because it'll be the first full moon of the year. But it may very well be one of the most powerful ones and pretty intense, actually. So I want to break it down a little bit. But for those of y'all that love the Leonian energy, this is a firepower packed full moon and a wonderful time to really be engaged in a lot of activity. So whatever, if you enjoy doing full moon rituals or dancing or creating or things like that, this is an amazing full moon to do that. But I want to pull up, for those of y'all that are astrologers or in the process of learning astrology, pull up the chart for the full moon. So we have it here for Richmond, Virginia. And you can see here, January 28th, 2:16 p.m. And we have the sun opposite the moon. That's our full moon. So here is what is wild about this full moon is it's going to be exactly opposite Jupiter. Okay, you'll also see Jupiter at 9 degrees of Aquarius, the moon at 9 degrees of Leo. But then over here, forming a fabulously, almost perfect T-square. Okay, let's see if we can show it here. We have the opposition. Oh, look at these nice zoom tools here. And then this square, okay, to Mars and Uranus, but especially tight to Mars. And you see here, this is a 90-degree angle here. And now I think I'm started drawing a sailboat, but that's all right. So anyways, so we have the full moon in Leo already archetypally, energetically. This is like, full moons in general are times of culmination and of illumination, of high energy. And, we see things clearly. The rest of the moon cycle, things are building up and suddenly there's some kind of release or emergence that happens at the full moon. In the sign of Leo, Leo qualities, performance, creativity, lots of excitement, enthusiasm. This is an amazing time to play or to celebrate in some way. And if you like to dance, if you like to sing, if you like to play the ukulele, if you like to write poetry, if you like to, whatever it may be that is engaging your sense of fun or passion or enthusiasm or lightness or playing with children or doing something, putting on a puppet show would be perfect for this full moon. Looking at you, Lily. And okay. But this full moon is squaring Mars and Uranus. Now that's intense, okay, from Taurus. And also, as we said, we're bringing in Saturn a little bit and Jupiter. So Jupiter being in this full moon mix just tends to expand the energies, all right, and makes everything bigger. So one of the things I will say on a collective level is we're also really going to take a bigger look at legalities, laws, the justice system, courts. I mean, hello, here in the United States, we're approaching an impeachment. And if ever there was a full moon chart that represented impeachment, it would be a full moon opposite Jupiter square Uranus. Okay, Uranus can be like an impeachment or a severing or a cutting energy or a sudden change, sudden shift. So definitely we'll expect to see that over these coming weeks, really, with some heightened energy coming at the end of January around this time of full moon in regards to what's happening legally and in terms of justice here in the country. Also with Mars and Uranus still in the mix, squaring the moon, it'll likely be emotions will be running very hot and very high around this time. There could be some more, intense protests. Definitely in other places in the world, we're seeing a lot of protests now in Russia. And so this kind of energy tends to tell me that things are going to be building in wherever there's protests or a feeling for a revolution or rebellion right now, it's going to build, and perhaps some kind of climaxes may take place around the full moon. But regardless, within yourself personally, wherever you have Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius in your astrology chart, whatever houses, these are going to be some very activated houses this week, really coming up to especially when the moon gets in Leo, probably on Wednesday, and Wednesday through Friday especially. But this could easily be a time where we could overreact, okay, or get all hot and bothered, okay, or as they say, your feathers ruffled, all right? Or frustrated, or like a lot of pent-up energy, or really angry or upset. That Uranian Mars squaring the moon is a volatility, all right? And so one thing I highly recommend to everybody is, especially in these days leading up to the full moon, but especially on the day of Thursday or even Wednesday night, do something where you're releasing energy, dance, like shake, put on some loud music and really shake what your mother gave you. Or break something consciously, like and here in Richmond they have Rage RVA. I don't know if they're still open, but I imagine they are, and you can pay money and like break a car. Isn't that nice? That is a perfect way to honor this full moon. Or some kind of conscious catharsis, where you, for instance, I've talked about in some recent circles about the Osho dynamic meditation, where you deliberately enter into, for like a 10-minute period, total catharsis. You're like rolling on the floor, screaming, jumping up and down, going crazy, babbling, all that just for a short period of time, not on it to perpetuity, but to release this kind of a really intense, electric and fiery energy, so that it flows through you rather than hits you. So that's one thing I really recommend. Find some way to really release a lot of energy. There's likely to be, for those people that have anxiety or stress, this could be like a time where you could overdo it, or you could get easily overwhelmed. So find ways also to meditate, to relax, to come back to center, but also not just that, also like dynamically work with this heat and this fiery and electrical energy to let it move through your body. Dancing is probably one of the best, okay? It's cold outside, so if you can, play some kind of sport or rollerblade through the park, whatever floats your boat. But anyways, in addition to all that intensity, like I was saying earlier, for all of you creative people, this is an amazing time to produce ingenious works of art. That Aquarian and Uranian vibe affecting the full moon brings out genius works and brings out inventive and new things that perhaps you've never even, you'll be painting, or you'll be writing a song, and this amazing idea comes. So allow yourself to also, if you're a creative individual, to let that creative expression flow through, and it'll probably be really profound. Especially Wednesday night, all of Thursday and Friday, while the moon is still in Leo. This is an amazing time to channel the energy. So I hope you take advantage of this full moon. And in case anybody is interested, I want to also share that I am in the middle of a 6-week astrology series coming up. Y'all also know that Mercury is going retrograde. Okay, everybody's favorite time of year, on the 30th, which I believe is Saturday. And so actually this night, Thursday, January 28th, I'll be teaching a lecture on Zoom on Mercury retrograde, everything that you need to know about Mercury retrograde. So if you want to learn more, check out the information at aquarianbookshop.com. Hope to see you there. Hope y'all have a fabulous rest of your day. and I will talk to you later.